All right, around the NFL, I'm going to have you role play as head coaches today.
6:15, because we'll be playing.
There we go.
Tyler.
There
6
we go.
o'clock hour. You'll hear it in drive time too.
Connor, get out of there.
Right? Here's Shay Norland.
You're going to role play as head coaches throughout the NFL with some of the questions facing some of the teams with the preseason. We'll start in Pittsburgh. The Steelers have not yet picked a starting quarterback for the season. Both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields played in the final preseason game against Detroit. Russell Wilson got the start. He was 2 for 2 for 26 yards.
It all sucks.
No sacks. While Fields was 3 of 4 for 40 yards, but did get sacked twice.
Yeah.
You are Mike Tomlin. Who do you start week 1 and why?
One of those 4 brothers from the Browns. Give me DTR.
Yeah, seriously, there are third stringers better than these two at this point. I'm going to go with Russell Wilson just because of his resume, and then when he falters, you hand it over to Justin Fields.
I think that's the right call. I think it's the right call. Russell Wilson will not sulk if he's a starter week 1. If he's not the starter week 1, you've lost him.
It's a great point. I was the first one to say Sean Payton, Russell Wilson aren't going to work. You're my Sean Payton. No, didn't work there, and I doubt it's going to work here. But you're exactly right. It definitely won't work if he's sulking as the backup.
It was oil and water in Denver with those two.
Yeah,
I think that's the right thing to do, Shay. I think that Russell Wilson should start. And again, I'm rooting for Justin Fields. I'm rooting for the young man. I'd like to have 51% of those snaps, please. That way, the Bears have their higher draft pick. Thank you very much. 51%.
I'm absolutely rooting for Justin Fields for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see him have success there. But I think Russell probably gets the first nod.
Here's Shay Norland.
Did you see Tomlin's quote about being asked about this again?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I read it.
It all sucks.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
That was exactly right.
Yeah.
He said, we've got 3 days of Steelers versus Steelers work to get through, and that would be the selection on their starting quarterback.
The best.
How they do in Steelers versus Steelers work will decide the answer.
It's the best answer. He's always got the best answer. It may not make sense, but to him, it makes sense.
Somehow that team will be at least 500, or better, or maybe even in the playoffs. I mean, he does more with less than anybody in the league when it comes to the quarterbacks. I mean, post Big Ben being good. Remember, Big Ben wasn't very good at the end.
That's correct.
And they somehow still was a decent team.
Shane Orley.
Danny Zetterman weighing in, confirming 2:15 is the official time for Caleb Williams from Alice Hall with Waddle and Sylvie.
But Danny, we'll replay it in drive time, right?
Does that mean we're off at 6:15?
All right.
It'll be replay. So within the framework of Waddle and Sylvie, in case you missed it earlier.
Yurko would ask for a comp day to go on that.
I'm just saying, you'll hear it at least several times. And of course, on our ESPN Chicago app. All right, Jay.
Jacoby Brissett got the start for the Patriots last night in their preseason finale, going 2 for 4 with 19 yards and a sack. That sack injured his shoulder and led to some extended Drake May snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May, 13 of 20, 126 yards, a touchdown, also rushed for 17 yards to pick up a first down on a 3rd and long.
Oh, honey.
Made some incredible throws, stepping up in the pocket, layering the football. He looked awesome again, and he has all preseason.
Did you fall into a door while watching it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, honey.
Listen, I needed a towel and a cigarette.
He fell into a door. I'm so happy.
Jacoby Brissett's injury is not serious. He said he's good. The Patriots have said he's good. It sounds like he's going to be ready for week 1. But he's been brutal through the preseason, and Drake May's been awesome. So you are Gerard Mayo. Who do you start week 1?
Drake May.
Agreed. I mean, I love the idea of sitting and watching and all that stuff in theory, but these college quarterbacks are so advanced. And there's so much more mental help, meaning even if he goes 1-15, 16 as a starter, there's ways to advance. As long as he's mature enough to handle it in some capacity, I assume he is, I would start May.
So what does it look like, Shay, as far as I say Drake May should start week 1. I understand the Patriots won't be very good, but that young man's got to learn. He's going to learn, and he's going to be good. I'll stand on that. I like what I saw in college. I'm glad he fell to the Patriots, But what I'm asking you is, so what does it look like? Is it May, Brissett, and Tennessee's Joe Milton? Is that it? Is that your depth chart with Zappy cut?
Yeah, probably. Zappy stinks. Joe Milton, I don't think's any good either, but
He's not.
that you're going to keep the rookie. Yeah, that's probably the depth chart. And I look, the Patriots are going to be bad. The schedule starts rough. I do kind of worry about throwing Drake May out there to wear a bunch of losses early in the season behind a horrible offensive line. But at the same time, there's not a lot of example in history where a first-round quarterback sits behind a nobody. You kind of just got to play.
Yeah, agreed.
Mayo's post-game was also confusing about the quarterback situation. I don't know what he feels like he's lost already. On like, he says, I think he said Brissett's the second best quarterback on the roster in his post-game. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But I don't think he was committal about Drake May being the number one starter, though. But I think that's the way you go. It's just the way it is, Jess. You drafted high. You got to throw the baby into the bathwater.
For sure. And now there are sort of reasons behind it after seeing this preseason injury, performance, whatever. I'm with you.
That's what it is.
Start Drake May.
All right. What else do we have, Shay?
All right, Sean Payton has said Zach Wilson will make the 53-man roster after being rumored as a cut candidate. Jarrett Stidham got the start in the preseason finale with Bo Nix resting, 2 of 4 for 28 yards. And then Zach Wilson, who was playing to keep a job, went 16 of 25 for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, added 22 rushing yards. You're Sean Payton. Week 1, Bo Nix just got hurt. He's coming out of the game. Who's the first quarterback in, Jarrett Stidham or Zach Wilson?
It's Stidham.
Stidham.
It's Stidham.
We've seen the Zach Wilson show before.
He just trickles it down his leg. Jesse, that's just not. He's just not. Never mind about the hot mom and all that, the other stuff around him. It is. Jarrett Stidham, toward the end of the season, was the quarterback, right, Shay? Like when they sat Wilson, Stidham was the guy?
I believe it was Stidham when they sent Russell Wilson to jail.
Okay, so then, it's Stidham. That's the guy.
This is very unscientific observation, but I think a quarterback that is a backup needs to sort of accept that for the rest of your career, whatever the case may be. I think once Zach Wilson kind of accepts what he is, he'll be better for it. He's got to learn how to be a backup at this point. And so I think that's what he should be, a backup, no matter what. Good for Stidham or Bo Nix.
Good for him. He put some good tape out there. 251 yards, as Shay mentioned, 2 touchdowns, 16 for 25. That's good tape. Took 4 sacks in front of a bunch of guys outside of your McDonald's with a squeegee. But still, that's the point. Like, it's good. He's got some good film. But Stidham's the backup if I was Sean Payton. All right, Shay, give us another scenario.
All right, a story over the weekend. A group of Chargers players, including Justin Herbert, got stuck in an elevator at the team hotel for 2 hours before their preseason game in Dallas on Saturday night. Dallas Fire Rescue had to come and get them out of the elevator. Jim Harbaugh said he, quote, just missed being on the elevator with them, which led Peter Burns on our morning show on Sportsmanlike to launch a conspiracy theory that Harbaugh planned this as a team-building exercise. You are Jim Harbaugh. Do you rig an elevator getting stuck in the team hotel as a team-building exercise?
You do not. And I'll hold my tongue on Peter Burns. I've worked with Peter before. God, that guy.
I mean, I guess the only reason you can even say that is because Harbaugh's kind of a strange cat sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like nobody else would even think of it. But the point is this: there's plenty of other team bonding things Harbaugh could have done, and I'm not sure that's even team bonding. That's more like everyone probably getting ticked off, right? I mean, I don't know if you're bonding in the elevator as you're trying to get out.
Listen, he said Justin Herbert, he was singing the praises of Herbert's leadership that was displayed while they were stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, I don't think that Harbaugh would do that.
Okay,
because
let me ask you this. I'm sorry to interrupt. If there were 4 or 5 guys in there that hated each other, maybe it would have been, but I don't know that.
You don't know if someone is, claustrophobic and all that. I wouldn't do that to somebody.
Yeah.
And that's not how you team build. So You know what that sounds like, Shade? It sounds like somebody's not used to a 4:15 wake-up call that came up with that theory this morning.
Aw.
And that is around the NFL.
Do you think the players were glad Harbaugh just missed being on the elevator with them?
That's a good point.
Because there would have been a lot of singing.
How are you in tight space? Are you claustrophobic?
I work with Cap every morning.
I don't know what that means, but okay. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I'm in a tight space every morning.
I heard Waddle say as he's gotten older, he's gotten claustrophobic, and I feel the same way. I never was younger. Now when I'm crowded planes are the best. Best example. Everything's so smaller, but I get a little claustrophobic on planes. I probably would in an elevator for 2 hours. But I never used to be. So maybe it's something about getting older. I don't know.
I think you make a great point. I love travel. Mm-hmm. But it's something about the long flight that's got me a little bit uncomfortable lately.
Less so when the plane is less packed, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
California, it's just kind of like, all right, it's 3 hours right now, 3.5. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
It's just for me, it's just at some point, I don't know if I'm just tired of it or I'm just feel like I'm closed in. I'm ready to get out.
Yeah, I like that middle seat open. I like that middle seat open.
So do I.
Yeah. But I get a little nervous. I get a little hot under the collar. I don't know. But Waddle said the same thing. I was surprised when he said that, but I'm like, I can relate to that.
When we get older, we don't have the full breath anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Our breathing is not as...
That, I don't know what it... Or we just start thinking of terrible things more. When you're young, you're not thinking any negative thoughts.
No, because you're bulletproof.
Right.
All right. Coming up, we will take your phone calls. 312-332-ESPN, 332-3776 is our phone number. Jesse and his friend had a great conversation about something regarding the Bears. Bears, do you feel better with them being 4-0 in the preseason or 0-4 in the preseason? Great conversation.
I don't see why 0-4 would be better.
Yes.
But I guess I could buy some overconfidence or certainly by the fans. We're all overconfident because they went 4-0.
Yes.
We'd be quite humbled if they were 0-4.
So let's talk about that. Also still to come, we're going to hear from Matt Eberflus, the head coach for the Bears. On the Cap